Hello everybody and welcome to this microphone test featuring the new Jabra Elite 85Ts. Now just keep in mind this is strictly a microphone test and not a full-on review, but in this video we're going to be testing the microphone on these earbuds in a few controlled environments, and we're also going to be comparing them to a few other earbuds. But with all that being said, we're going to be starting off with a pair of wired earbuds just so that we can get our baseline. So these are the Apple EarPods, and this is what you used to get with your shiny new iPhone before the iPhone 12. But with minor rants aside, in this video we're going to be testing out these earbuds in 3 different scenarios. First off, we got a quiet room like right now. Then we're going to be turning on this AC unit, which will be supplying us with a constant low frequency sound. And then we're going to be simulating a coffee shop, which will be supplying us with a random higher frequency sound. Now, this is our baseline, and I think we sound pretty good. However, even though the wired earpods do sound pretty good, they do absolutely nothing to block out any ambient noise. Because right now, you can clearly hear this AC unit in the background. And the same thing can be said about being in a coffee shop. My voice does sound pretty good, but you can hear everything else in the background. Now, these are the Jabra Elite 65Ts, and these are the oldest earbuds here. Now, they sound good enough to take phone calls with, but since the highs on these earbuds are rather pronounced, I do sound rather robotic. Now, when it comes to blocking out noise, even though these earbuds do block out a decent amount of low frequency sounds like this AC unit, you can still clearly hear it in the background. And when it comes to blocking out chatter, even though these earbuds are trying their best to reduce all of this ambient noise, a lot still manages to get in. Now, if we were to move over to the Jabra Elite 75Ts, my voice doesn't sound as amplified or as robotic as it did with the 65Ts. So I would consider this microphone to be an upgrade. However, when it comes to blocking out this AC unit, even though these earbuds are trying to reduce this ambient noise, you can still clearly hear it in the background. And again, when it comes to blocking out chatter, even though these earbuds are trying to reduce this ambient noise, a lot still manages to get in. But now here are the new Jabra Elite 85Ts. Now, even though there are some major upgrades from the 75Ts, which I will definitely talk about in the full review, when it comes to the microphone on these earbuds for phone calls, I gotta say the microphone on these earbuds sounds very similar to the microphone found on the 75Ts. The Jabra Elite 85Ts let in the same amount of low frequency sounds as the Jabra Elite 75Ts, and they also let in the same amount of chatter in. So overall, these are a pair of earbuds that I would rather try to take phone calls with in a quiet area. Up next are the AirPods Pro. Now, the normal AirPods sound identical to the AirPods Pro. My voice sounds very clear, and since there isn't too much amplification going on, peaking really isn't a problem. And this microphone does do a decent job of blocking out this AC unit. Now, you can still hear it in the background a little bit, but my voice is the main focus here. However, when it comes to blocking out random higher frequency sounds like what you would find in a coffee shop, even though these earbuds are blocking out a decent amount of noise, my voice can get jumbled up here. But now let's move on to the Galaxy Buds Live, which have a really good microphone for phone calls. In a quiet room, these earbuds sound great, and they don't have a lot of amplification to them, unlike Jabra's earbuds. And when it comes to blocking out constant low frequency sounds or this AC unit, the Galaxy Buds Live do a much better job of blocking out that AC unit than all of the previous earbuds. However, they still struggle a bit when it comes to blocking out chatter. Now, these earbuds are blocking out a decent amount of noise, but my voice can still be a little harder to hear here. Now, even though I do think the Galaxy Buds Live have a really good sounding microphone, it's really important to keep in mind that the Galaxy Buds Plus don't have the same sounding microphone. It still sounds good, but I do sound a little farther away, and there is a little bit more of amplification going on here. And when it comes to blocking out that AC unit, even though the Galaxy Buds Plus are blocking out a decent amount of noise, they don't block out as much noise as the Galaxy Buds Live. And again, I do sound a little farther away. And when it comes to blocking out chatter, my voice is just drowning with the Galaxy Buds Plus. So I just wouldn't even try to take phone calls with these in a chatty area. Because at least with the Galaxy Buds Live, you could somewhat hear me. But now let's move over to a pair of earbuds that I think have exceptional microphones for phone calls. First of which are the Google Pixel Buds, which really do like to put an emphasis on your voice, but it really isn't a bad thing because I don't sound robotic like I do with Jabra's earbuds. And these earbuds also do a really good job of blocking out constant low frequency sounds like this AC unit, all while still keeping your voice front and center. And when it comes to blocking out chatter, again, these earbuds do a really good job of keeping your voice front and center, all while still blocking out a decent amount of noise. However, those louder, higher frequency sounds really do manage to sneak in while you're talking. But finally, these are the OnePlus Buds, and these earbuds really do have an impressive sounding microphone. In a quiet room, these earbuds sound great, and my voice sounds very natural. But what's really impressive is the amount of low frequency sounds these earbuds block out. Because right now, you can barely hear that AC unit in the background. And even though these earbuds are really blocking out that AC unit, my voice still sounds super clear. Because if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear that AC unit. But if we were to switch back over to the OnePlus Buds, it is severely reduced. And when it comes to blocking out chatter, this is an area where all of the previous earbuds struggled, but not the OnePlus Buds. The OnePlus Buds are still blocking out an impressive amount of noise, but you can still clearly hear my voice. Because again, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this chatter. But if we were to switch back over to the OnePlus Buds, it is severely reduced again. So with all that being said, the microphone on the Jabra Elite 85Ts is decent, and it is an upgrade from the microphone found on the Jabra Elite 65Ts. However, this microphone does sound very similar to the microphone found on the 75Ts, and in general, you do want to try to take phone calls with these earbuds in a quiet room. And personally, I do prefer how AirPods sound over Jabra's earbuds. But if you are looking for a pair of truly wireless earbuds and call quality is a really big deal to you, then personally I do highly recommend either the Galaxy Buds Live, Google Pixel Buds, or the OnePlus Buds. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. If you want to pick any of the products up mentioned in this video, those will be linked in the description down below, and you can also support the channel by checking out the merch store. But other than that, I'll catch you next time.